a warm round of applause.
So, after the Super Bowl, the New York Times reported that over 600 people were arrested for being involved in human trafficking. Let's look at that a little deeper. Who here knows what human trafficking is? For those of you who don't, or may just be confused by the term, the definition is in the name. It is the moving of peoples all over the world for slave labor, sex, and drug trafficking. Human trafficking is the #1 growing and productive illegal business on the black market. This is topping the sales of gun trades and drug cartels. Let that sink in for a minute. The fact that human lives are considered to be equal to drugs and guns. A commodity to be used, thrown away, until the next model comes out. This is something that oftentimes we don't want to think about. That often it's uncomfortable. There's a term for the area we live in. It's called the bubble. Well, it's called the bubble because we like to be safe. We like to be safe in our own little area where none of the bad issues from the world can creep in and cause issues with us. Who here likes to be uncomfortable? Alright, well guess what? I'm about to make you uncomfortable. I'm about to hit you with some facts that are making you gonna open your eyes. Anybody ready for that? Human trafficking has its 3rd largest port in the world. In the world. In Houston, Texas. That is where we live. Okay? Railways, airplanes, buses, shipyards, all of these things are manners of transport. Really, the most common ways to transport, and Houston has them all. So, while we may like to think that those large semis that pass us on the road are just filled with soap or other products, sometimes they're filled with people. They're filled with children. Okay, did y'all hear that? Children. As young as infancy are packed into crates. Right now y'all are sitting next to someone in this class. Y'all have space. It's kind of comfortable, right? You have enough space. You're not packed up tight. Well, I want you to imagine that this room had no tables, had no chairs, and you were all standing, shoulder to shoulder, chest to chest, next to somebody else. But this room is pretty big, right? That wouldn't be too much of a problem. Well, imagine 300 more people in this room. The stench of urine and defecation rampant. And that if someone can't take that smell, add throw up to that smell. All packed in as tight as can be. So that somebody can take these children, teenagers, and adults to go and be used by another human however they see fit. There was a movie, actually a series that came out a few years ago. It was called Hostel. It was about a group of American college students going to travel Europe, go and see the sights. Well, while they're there, they get kidnapped. They get brought to rooms where they're tortured. That can't happen, right? That doesn't happen. That's for movies. Isn't that right? That's only for movies? No, that's wrong. American travelers are a high commodity. I brought up this picture of a pink elephant. Oftentimes we'll ignore what's right in front of us. We'll ignore the biggest, most obvious things that everyone knows about. There are many groups in Houston that try and spread awareness. Unfortunately, there's not enough. So with Super Bowl coming to Houston in 2 years, into the city of the third largest human trafficking trade rate, are we going to be able to post on a famous newspaper that there were people freed from the bondage of slavery? That there were people who no longer have to worry and fear about who they're going to see next. About people who can live a life. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Go to the front. Richard, any questions for Richard? Any questions? Richard, why did you choose this particular topic?
This particular topic is very close to my heart. I've worked in multiple groups to help prevent human trafficking, help spread awareness. I've been to multiple seminars, and there is information that would take hours to go through. And I wanted to, even if I let you know that this is a problem, that spreads awareness. And so if you can identify some of these things, you can help stop the pain.
Oh, that's great. Snow, you had a question?
Oh, no, you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, let's give Richard another round of applause. Yay. So make sure that you have notes